Hi, Taurus. This is Lynn from Tinker Tarot. Welcome to my channel. I want to thank you all for all of your views and your likes and subscribes and shares and all your incredible comments. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. It feels really good. So, obviously, I'm going to continue doing this. And so this is for you, Taurus, your March 2018 reading. I want to say that here in Canada, March is the sugar moon. And the sugar moon is about when we go out to the sugar bush, which is where all the maple trees are, and we tap them for their sap. And we turn that sap into maple syrup. And we have a lot of celebrations here, maple festivals, maple madness, and that sort of thing. And it's our first nourishment of the year after the long, dead winter. So, also March is the spring equinox on the 21st. So it's when everything comes back to life, renewal, rebirth. So, and also we get to get out of the cabin, get rid of some of that cabin fever and socialize, and it's starting to feel good. The days are longer, all that sort of thing. And also it is St. Paddy's Day on March 17th. So happy St. Paddy's Day to any of my Irish viewers. So Taurus, let's get ahead with your reading, and I really hope this message is for you. So Taurus, March 2018. I already pre-shuffled these quite a bit, but I'm going to shuffle here now. And we will. They're really ready, though. I can feel this. They just want to jump right out. Okay. They're ready. Do-do-do-do. I hum a lot while I work. No matter what I'm doing, if I'm cooking, if I'm cleaning, I'm humming. My mom used to hum all the time, and I guess that's why I do it. You pick up things from your parents and people you love. Anyway, Taurus, your very first card in your past energy is the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune means things are about to change. Things are happening. The wheel is turning. So change is happening for you. It has been happening for you. Things have been changing. I'm not really sure in what areas this is for you. It could be in all the areas of your life. Everything could be changing right now. As I said, it's spring. It's the season changing. And also 2018 is a 2 as far as numerology goes. Last year was a 1 and this year is a 2. And so things are starting to progress. What were ideas before, now you are starting to develop these ideas and talk about them, put them into the next level. So things are changing around you in your life. Your next card is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is about choices. So you have a lot of different things that you desire, All these cups are filled with different things: energy, money, nourishment, love. You could have any one of these things, but you can't have them all at the same time. So you need to pick a few and focus on those, and decide which is most important for you right now, according to the path you're on, okay? And if this is about a person, a love in your life, then the same thing goes. You can't have everything all in one person. You have to pick which is important to you, which are the qualities that are most important to you, the highest on your list, and go for those. What fits in your picture? What does your picture look like, and what is going to fit in that? Your next card is the Five of Pentacles. Now, I got to put my glasses on for this one. The Five of Pentacles is about being left out in the cold. It's like you've been deserted. There's money there, but you don't have access to it. So you're really needing the support and from friends and people you wouldn't normally ask for help. You're asking for help. I think that you're going to get help from a stranger or someone who's not close to you, someone who's watching what's going on and doesn't like it. I don't know, like maybe they don't know that much, but somehow they're going to help. It's kindness from a stranger. But because they see that you're vulnerable in the situation, they're not really casting judgment about who's to blame or, whether someone deserves this. They just figure nobody deserves this, So anyway, this is cast out in the cold and the kindness and generosity of strangers and asking for help where you wouldn't normally ask it from. And next is the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is about having the energy to he's the champion of truth is who he is, okay? He's a champion of truth. So it's like he knows what the truth is now, and so he's ready to move forward with it. It feels powerful to know this. It feels powerful also to you feel confident in your mental abilities, your ability to strategize and make a game plan. You know what I mean? You're not just confident, but you're capable. Yes, you're very capable. Okay? So whoever did this left you out in the cold, kind of, left you without the resources. Like I said, the resources are there, but you can't get at them. You can't. You don't have access somehow. Okay. But this guy, and there's something on a spiritual level here too, because the trees are purple. The trees are purple. So it's like this is a quest he must do to clean his karma. You know what I mean? Clean your karma, or someone wants to clean their karma. They want to come clean, and they're the champion of truth, and they just want to this guy isn't afraid of the truth. Okay? He's not afraid of the truth. And the last card in your past energy is of the Ace of Cups. So the Ace of Cups is that feeling stirring in us when we've seen someone, we've taken an interest up in someone or developed a new relationship. This could be family too, or a friend, finding a new friend and just clicking with them, or reconnecting with a family member, something. Anyway, this is a relationship that is going to endure. It's gone through every moon cycle, and it is being seen by the all-seeing eye. Okay, and it is massive. Like this could be, if it's a relationship, it could be the love of your life. I'm getting the feeling that you are breaking up with someone. You have left something behind, or you've been left behind, you know. Um, and you're like, you're going to be completely fine. You don't fear the truth. You are, you know, he is wearing armor, so there is some defenses, there is some protection there, but he also is not afraid. He is charging, ready to go right ahead. And this horse is also in full dress too, so he's going in style. When he says this thing. This is a funny thing going on in your past. Like, there's something out of this hardship is a reward. It's a gift. It's a gift of love out of this hardship you've gone through. And I think that it's probably something really good for you, although, it was a real struggle. And this is the first card in your present energy, and this is the Tower. And the Tower is about something falling apart. Like this, in this deck, the Gilded Tarot, that Tower is on solid foundation. And he's fallen out of it. The top is cracked off, and he's fallen out of it. So it's like you've lost your stability. You've lost your ground. You've lost your you need to build back up again. It's like you need to start again, but it's not starting from scratch. This is all still completely intact. So, you got to rebuild in some way. This could be a relationship in your life. Like I said, it could be a friend or a family member you're reconnecting with, rebuilding something, or in your relationship. But it's not completely destroyed, okay? And this guy has fallen out. He didn't jump out. It's like he fell out. He's trying to brace himself for the fall. Okay? I don't think this was your choice. That's what I think. I don't think this was your choice. It was a shock. The World. So the World is about coming full circle. You've come full circle in what's going on in your life, in perhaps this relationship that you were going through, and I get the idea that it is a relationship. I think you've come full circle with it, and I don't know if you're going to put energy back into it again for another try, or are you going to go for something new? Are you, you have the world in your hands. You look at her. She's striving ahead like that. And she's got the world behind her. And she's also in like that wreath that, it's like when you get an award for winning, for coming through this. Okay? So I think that in some ways you feel really powerful now for coming through this, and you don't know if you want to give that up. I don't know if I want to give up my power. And in some ways, starting something similar again, you might be feeling that. You might be thinking, I like it. I like this feeling, you know. I like feeling strong. I like feeling determined and like she's digging in, you know, she's putting her heart ahead. You know, I don't know. It's striving, you know. I'm thinking when those runners are breaking the ribbon, when they're all going through and they're all trying to put their chest further than everybody else's, or the horse races, you know, and it's like that striving to get to the finish line. You know, that's what this is right here. And after going through this tower, too, you know, it's who could know you're actually at the finish line? Who could know? And here you have the Hanged Man. Now the Hanged Man is feeling stuck. You know, he's in a rut. He can't seem to move ahead now after all this. You know, you've come through it all. And so now what do I do? You know, you don't know what you want to do. Sometimes the hangman is about giving something up. And in this case, I get the feeling that it's an attitude, giving up an attitude. Okay? And it's a cherished attitude. And you know, he doesn't want to, but it's binding him from going further, from evolving, and from getting out of this rut. It's something to do with your attitude. That's what I'm getting, man. The Lovers. I haven't seen this card yet. And this is as in your present energy. So in the Gilded Tarot, it's not a three-way issue. It's, you know, he's holding her up. He holds her above everybody else. And she trusts him, you know, and he has a certain amount of control over her. See how he's not holding her back for her support. He's holding her wrist. He's got a kind of a control over her, and you can see the dolphins. Dolphins are about like sonar communication. And in this Gilded Tarot, like he's like a knight, like he's a brute, you know, and he's got a hold of her. And it looks, you know, he might be a bit controlling, you might be a bit controlling, she might be a bit controlling, but he holds her above everybody else, you know. He thinks the sun shines right down on her. I said this once about a friend of mine. When her and this guy met, I was right there when it happened, and it was just like a light came out of the sky and shone down on her. That's all he could see was her, and that's what this is like. It's you're coming together with somebody. You know, there's someone, and I think that it could be this person, you know, that you've seen. I'm wondering if you're going to hook up, like you're going to get together somehow, and I think that you want more than just physical. That's what I see. All right, you want more. But, you know, after you've come out of this relationship, this tower, and come full circle, you know, come full circle with it all. Sometimes we need a little bit of a rest period before we go on to the next, start the next thing up, because we need to digest it. We need to digest what just happened. And how are we going to learn from the lessons that we learned in that relationship where we've just come from? Because we have to take everything with us, okay? And that's why you feel stuck for a while, because you're digesting that. It's not sitting well with you, though. You're upside down. And then here, getting right into it. What do they say? Getting chizzy with it. Getting chizzy with it. Anyway. Now, your last card in your present energy is the Ten of Wands. The Ten of Wands is about a heavy burden that you have to carry. And you're being observed by the deer in the background. They're watching. And they're watching you with this burden and wondering, if you're going to make it. Is he going to make it all the way to the other field there? With that looks pretty heavy. It doesn't look very secure. It's challenging in many ways. And it's backbreaking too, I might add. So you've taken it on, though. You picked them up. You just grabbed a hold of them and took this into your own hands and said, I can do it. And you probably will. Taurus are very determined. They're slow and steady. Slow and steady, Taurus are. They push and push and push, and I can see you pulling this off, absolutely. And there's people watching you pull this off. You're being observed. They're wondering if you're going to be able to do it or not. You took this on, and I think you will. But you did take it on. I don't think you're enjoying the task, actually. At this point, at the end here, at the last mile, it's not enjoyable. But you're just about done. You're at the 10. You're just about done. You're just about at the end of the field. You can see the end in sight. Okay, it's almost done. So in your future outcome energy, you have justice. And justice is about that very thing, fair justice. You are, I think this relationship that you went through before, something fair is going to be coming out of it. You're going to be treated fairly in this. Because right under one another, you have the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower and then Justice. So you can see kind of the beginning to the end here, okay? You knew it was changing. It came down, it fell apart, and you're going to get justice in the end. There's not really a lot to say. About justice. It's about weighing that. Like, it needs to be fair. And I think that's what it turns out to be. Simple as that. Your next card is the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is about anxiety and nightmares and not things bothering you so much that it's waking you up. You're not getting your sleep, and not getting your sleep is affecting all the other areas in your life. And they're coming at you from every direction too. And you are holding your hands across your chest. You feel vulnerable. I don't know much about the chakras, I know that here is your heart chakra, and you're covering it here. And you feel very vulnerable. Now, the owl is watching you. The owl, it represents wisdom. And perhaps that's what you need in this situation. You need wisdom. You need to make a wise, when you're making sense out of this, you need to think about it in an objective way, not from an emotional level. You need to get out of your heart and into your head more. Like, this is nightmares and anxiety, but it's about your heart, I think maybe you need to seek some wise counsel, and that is also what that owl is about. Someone's. It's not wise to suffer. Okay, it's not wise to suffer, because this is going to affect your life at work, your relationship, and I'm not sure what you're worried about at this time, because it seems like, you've gotten a fair justice out of whatever was going wrong, and you felt you were unjustly treated, which you were back here. You were unjustly treated, and so now you're getting justice for that. I'm wondering if all these swords are guilt. Do you feel guilty because you won? Do you feel guilty because it was fair? Your next card is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands, you find yourself ready to move on. You're ready to move on. You have two choices. And they both are promising, but you can't see where they will lead you to from here. So the only thing you can see from here is one looks like really sunny, gorgeous, flat forest, fairly easy to handle. This other one looks quite challenging and dark, and doesn't look like there's a lot of growth on that mountain, a lot of food to find along the way. But it doesn't look as promising. It just looks difficult and more challenging. And I think that you just don't know what it's going to be when you get there. You can't judge it from way back here. Sometimes when you get by that great big tower building downtown, you see the beautiful cathedral or the beautiful park that's just beyond that. So, and on the other side, you just don't know. You can't tell from way back here. So maybe, if possible, you should try and research it a little bit if you can, but sometimes it's just one of those things. You just got to give it a try. You just got to step in and give it a try and see what happens. You can always change your mind. And the Temperance card. Now, Temperance is about balance. And I'm so glad this come up, because I was just thinking about it when I was reading one of these cards here. I think it was the Ten of Wands, maybe. And Temperance is about keeping yourself in balance, and it's keeping things in moderation. But what are things? What are things? Things are our mental capacity, our physical capacity, our spiritual, and our emotional. So you need to keep a balance in all these areas of your life. And um, and it's also it's the flow of energy, keeping it moderate, not too much energy, not too much movement, not too much energy, not too much emotion. It's really keeping these four areas of the self balanced. Make sure you're contributing to each of these areas of your life. So, for instance, in the spiritual, are you praying? Are you meditating? In the physical, are you getting exercise? Are you eating properly? In the mental, are you reading? Are you networking and getting out and socializing with people, stimulating your mind? And in the where am I now? Spiritual, physical, mental, and emotional. Yes. Are you, do you forgive yourself? Do you love yourself? Say good things to yourself. Pat yourself on the back. Love and to receive love. Be kind. You know, this is all of the areas. I'm sorry to go on about that, but I was thinking about it earlier, and I don't know why I was, but I guess I needed to bring it up. It's just keeping an equal balance in all the areas of the self. This is important to you in your future. It is. I can just feel it. And, I think that you're going to be able to handle any path if you have that. Okay. On my website, I'm going to have some tools. I'm hoping to have all of it up by the end of March. And I'm going to have tools where you can see if you're living in balance, templates that you can use yourself and keep that in check. The last card in your outcome energy is the Two of Swords. So this says that you are blinding yourself to something. Not really blinding yourself, but it's something you don't want to look at. You don't want to deal with. You don't want to talk about. It just doesn't exist. It's not there. But it is. It is there. And you feel defensive about it. I think others are having a hard time communicating with you about it. It could be something about this path you're on, also a two, twos are usually decision time too, and you're choosing not to see this. Like I said, it's there. It's more like you're choosing not to deal with it. If you see it, if you admit it's there, now I got to talk about it, Some people have a real hard time with white elephants, and they just don't want to open up that pot that's been stewing, or I get that idea. They don't want to open it up, but it's going to sit there, and it's going to be there underlying. It's underlying. See all these kind of clouds? And there's like levels of them. It's underlying. So, you might as well just go ahead and do it, face it, deal with it, get it out of the way, get it done. Because then you can move on. You're moving on, man. You're working hard. You're, you are getting, some balance in your life. Like, Okay, so this is saying pull the veil off and have a look at this, deal with it, talk about it, get it out. And it's probably not as big as you think it's going to be. If things that we let sit in our head and worry about is never as big as it is in your head. You know, when you finally do deal with it, it's like, oh, they just said, oh, yeah, well, okay, thanks for telling me, man. Meanwhile, you worried about it for 2 months. But it looks like you are getting balance in your life. You know, you're fulfilling that emotional side, at least on a physical level. You're working hard, also on a physical level. I'm not sure how much emotional is in this physical, though. You might just be fulfilling yourself physically right now. I don't know if you're really ready to take something serious on, but this, I think when you are, this is the person you want to go after. You know, I get the feeling that you touch base often enough to let them know that you're still there, but you got to deal with all this other stuff first. You got, excuse me, you got some work stuff going on. There could be some family stuff going on. You got this past relationship or whatever is going on with what fell apart, you know, in your life, that tower situation. So you've got all the other things that you're dealing with before you're ready for this person. And, you know, it could have something to do with this veil you have here. It's resistance. It's resistance. Okay? So, like I said, it's going to be there underlying. And, you know, look at how the moon is under you. It's underlying. So, you're going to have to deal with it, address it, talk about it sometime. Or it will rear its ugly head again. Like, you know, that's all there is to it. Anyway, Taurus, I hope that you have enjoyed your reading this month. You can reach me, check me out on Facebook, Tinker Tarot. You can also check out my website. I've got it up and going, but it's still under construction. I'm still, you know, doing work on it and dressing it up and putting like tons of stuff on. I haven't even put half the stuff on that I want to yet, but I'm not very tech savvy, so I just want to let you know it takes me a little bit longer. So I'm hoping to have it all up and going by the end of the month, and I think I'm going to be ready for personal readings on March 6th if I have that figured out right. I'm trying to figure that out right. Oh, also I wanted to say thank you so much for your donations. That's so very kind and very much appreciated. And I'll see you next month, Taurus. Happy Valentine's Day. Jeepers, it's a long day. Happy St. Patty's Day.